All right, so in this example number 4, we're going to have to do a little bit of legwork before we can find the area of our triangle. So if you'll remember, you guys already have this written on your page, but I'm going to write it again because I didn't copy it down. But the area of a triangle is 1/2 times little a times little b times the sine of angle C. And it changed colors again. Now, please note, when you do this, you have to know two sides of a triangle in order to find the area. Notice A is a side, B is a side. So you've got to know two sides of a triangle and a angle. So when we're looking at this lovely triangle that they gave us over here, notice we've got two angles, which really means we've got three because you could find that other one, but we've only got one side. So before we can use this area, we've got to find another side using our law of sine. So remember, if you've got two angles of a triangle, you could find any of the sides using the law of sine. So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, I'm going to find this angle measure right there, just so that it opens up more possibilities to me. I probably will need to use it anyway. It's a law of sine. So if you've got your two angles, just remember, subtract these two angles from 180, because all your angles in a triangle add up to 180. And this triangle, or this angle measure right there, is 38 degrees. All right, so now basically, please note, you've got one side. So we're going to call this side that we know. You could either call it A or B. It doesn't matter. Let's call it A just because A is first in the alphabet. That means this side right there is angle A. Now, it doesn't matter which other one you call. You could call B or C. So if I wanted to call this one B, and little b in this angle C and little c, that would be fine. Okay, it does matter. Use the 20 that you know is either an A or B, though. Don't put it as a C because then you have to find both the other ones and you don't want to have to do that. So note really quickly as we look again before we're trying to figure out what we want, I look over here at my area formula. Notice how I've got little a. Little a I know is 20. Okay, I don't have little b. So this is going to be basically, that's what I'm going to be looking for. I know all the angles, I know that, but I do have angle C already. So it's just that little b that I'm going to be looking for. So we're going to use our law of sines on this case to find this. Now remember, law of sines in 10.1 said that the sine of big A, angle A over little a is equal to the sine of angle B over little b, which is also equal to the sine of angle C over little c. So a couple of things when you're looking at this, notice B was what we needed. So we need to use this, this proportion in our equation. And then I would ignore C since you don't have little c. That one's not going to help us. We'll use the sine of A over A is equal to the sine of B over B. And then just plug them in. Let's go to green. So we have the sine of angle A. Angle A was 38 degrees. So we're going to divide that sine of 38 degrees by little a, which was 20, and say that that equals the sine of angle B, which was 28 degrees, divided by little b, which is, I'm going to call it little b. I know we put an X there, but let's call it little b. All right, now we just solved. Remember cross products, so you could just multiply top times bottom. So this b times the sine of 38 degrees is equal to top times bottom, so 20 times the sine of 28 degrees, and then just get b by itself. We don't want it times to that sine of 38, so we'll divide both sides by the sine of 38 degrees. All right, so here we have, let's cancel those. So we have b here is equal to, and then you just go ahead and put this lovely bit into your calculator. I have 20 times the sine of 28 degrees. Either close your parentheses or hit enter. Divide that by the sine of 38 degrees, and I have a 15.25. We're going to round to the nearest tenth just because we've been doing that before. Okay, so that is our side. If you were doing less than 10.1, you'd be done with the problem. They usually just ask you for the side. However, remember, they've asked us to find the area. So now we found side B, we could just plug this all in to find that area. So we've got 1/2 times little a, which was 20, times little b, which was 15.3, times the sine of angle C. Here's angle C. That is 114 degrees. And again, nothing's missing here. We found everything, so you could just plug that straight into your calculator. 1/2 times 20, or you could just put 10, times 15.3 times the sine of 114, and that gives me 139 point, let's round it to 8.8. And we're in inches, so that's going to be inches squared there. That is all we're trying to find, is that lovely area. All right, so just remember you've got to know two sides and the angle in between them to find the area. So we used our law of sines to help us get that information.